Okay guys, well welcome back to part 2. We're going to do a little bit of brass preparation here. I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer. Sorry. So there was a couple things I forgot to mention in the first video. That is lubrication. You need to lube your bullets, not your bullets, but your cartridges before you do anything with it. Now currently the only lube that I have on hand that I can find, there's another one somewhere, is this Cabela's case lube with linalool. So that's some type of liquid wax. Basically this is an alcohol base. You spray it on, absorbs. For some stuff this works really well. For other stuff it's garbage. I don't recommend this unless you're doing straight wall or very close to straight wall cases or very small cases. Bottleneck rifles, not so great. Now what I use is this RCBS lube pad. Works very well. Basically like a big ink pad. And what you do, yeah, there's lube on it already. You put your little lube on there, whatever you want to use. Not an aerosol one, it'll be like Lee makes one. It's a case sizing lubricant and I can't find it. I didn't have much left anyway, so works really well. If you can see this, I've been using this. It works. Probably not the best. Used very sparingly. Anything slippery, basically. But I do have some stuff ordered. Some better stuff. So what you're going to do is take your brass, and I'll get some here. I'll do them all. So you want to situate these. Flop every other one. Just put slight pressure down. Give them a little rub, and you'll see the oil kind of stick to them. If you're anywhere that's dusty, like I am right now, because I haven't been out here in forever, I just got home after being away for 4 weeks, there's a bit of dust flying around. Dust and dirt will stick to this thing like you wouldn't believe, so you got to keep the cover on it. So with the case prep tools that I use, you have to get the primer out first. And I don't know if it's 100% necessary or not, but I like to prep my brass after it's been fully sized. So run a few of these through the priming or through the press. You can probably tell it's taking a fair amount of force to get these to go in that die. The reason behind that is because I'm not using the right type of lubricant. So it is sticking a fair amount. But RCBS makes a spray case lube. Or no. Yeah, I'm sure they probably do, but that's not what I was thinking. They make a squeeze bottle lube, is what I meant to say. That works really well. And I'll give that a shot next time. So as explained in the last video, you take your little shell holder, put the case in, close it up. Now put it in there, because the primer's gone, it'll go all the way back. And just give it a few turns. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was off camera. Give it a few turns. Now if you look right here, you'll see it removing a little bit of brass. See little pieces coming off. So you do that, and then you take your other little tool here, and you just give it a little rub on the inside, turn it around, a little rub on the outside, and that's all it takes. Now, some brass will require a lot more trimming than others. It really depends on your gun. 303 is notorious for this because of the large chambers they use. Basically any military gun, they use oversized chambers, and the reason they do that is for reliability. The rifle I have is actually really good. I can probably get 7 or 8 shots, maybe even 10 or 12 shots out of a case before it's toast. What usually happens to mine is I get a crack in the neck. Now that can be somewhat alleviated by annealing the brass, which is just heat treating. Brass will get brittle as it works, unlike most metals that get soft. So you just heat it up and then you cool it down rapidly, and it basically makes it nice and flexible again. Like I was saying, my rifle, the chamber itself is pretty tight, but the throat, which is the piece that this part of the brass sets in, is a little big, so it's hard on the necks. Now, that's a decent trade-off, really. And this amount of trimming here is after only one firing, because I prepped this brass about 2 months ago, took it to the range, fired it, came back, threw it in my little bin, and then I had to do some traveling for work, and this is the first time I've got back to it. Oops. So you can kind of tell by the amount of brass that's taken off there that it works at a fair amount. Now, when you're taking that brass out, the brass has got to come from somewhere. So the rest of the case gets a little thinner. It's basically what happens when you fire it. Your brass goes out and fills your chamber, and then it shrinks back as it cools, just ever so slightly, so you can extract it. Okay, so that's your basics of case preparation, and probably call this video done. In the next one we'll go to actually loading it now that we have brass that's ready to go. So we'll see you next time, and hope you enjoy the video series.